Hey, hello folks. Today I quickly built a demo of short polling versus long polling, and we will see in action how this works. Before that, I will just quickly describe what short polling and long polling is. Yeah. Yeah. So in short polling, what happens is basically client send a request to the server repeatedly at fixed interval, and server responds immediately with the latest data. If there is no data available, then server will send no new data. But the crux here is client will repeatedly send a request to the server after every 1 or 2 seconds, whatever that interval might be. On the other hand, in long polling, client send a request to the server and server hold the request. It will keep the request open, and whenever the data is available, server will send the data back to the client. If the timeout occurs, then client will again send a new request. Okay, let's see in action how this works. So currently I will start short polling and it will say waiting for data. Now we have defined a regular interval as 2 seconds. After every 2 seconds, client will send a request to the server and server is responding back after every 2 seconds. And you will see every 2 seconds there is a new request being created. It will say short polling, short polling, short polling. Okay, one more thing we have built here is we will notify the server and send the data from the client. Let's say we say short polling, and I send this data to the server, and server will respond back short polling. Now, if I say short polling 2 and again notify the server, server will send this data back to the client and it will say short polling 2. Similarly, if I send short polling 3 and notify the server, server will send back the data to the client and it will say short polling 3. But you will see there is a lot of request going from client to the server after every 2 seconds. So this is a lot of overhead of requests to the server. Now let's see about long polling. I'm stopping the short polling here. Okay, now I'll start the long polling. So now the client has sent the request to the server and it is waiting for data. Now we have to send the data from here. I'll say long polling, and you will see there is only one request and the status is pending. The server will keep this request open. I have set the timeout here to 20 seconds, and I will say notify long polling, and it's a long polling at this time. Again, there is only after this request complete, client has sent a new request to the server, and if I say long polling 2 and notify the server, it will say long polling 2, and if I say long polling 3 and notify the server, it will say long polling 3. But the crux here is in long polling, client will wait until there is data at the server. If the timeout occurs, then only it will send a new request instead of sending new request after every interval, whether it is 1 or 2 seconds. Yeah, thank you.